What's up, bud? It's Rob. This is Apparel Success. And in this video here, what I want to do is share with you an absolutely amazing strategy that you can put in place for your own clothing brand that will allow you to get a lot of sales and make a lot of sales for your clothing brand without having to have a massive fan base or a massive audience. Okay, so the strategy that I'm going to talk about in this video is how to make a lot of sales without having a huge audience. I think you're really going to like this video. Stay tuned. Now, what I want to talk about in this video right now is a lot of people have been reaching out to me on, say, Instagram, through the Apparel Success Instagram account, and through this YouTube channel, and they have clothing brands of, say, 200,000 followers on Instagram, and they're reaching out to me for advice on how to make more sales and what exactly are we doing to create such a tight brand where we're actually making sales all the time, because our clothing brand is making over $10,000 a month in sales. And what really blows my mind about this is that our clothing brand only has 18,000 followers on Instagram. Now, if you're just starting up, and you only have, say, 100 or 1,000 followers on Instagram, you may say, wow, oh my God, if I could have 18,000 followers on Instagram, that would be amazing. I remember when we first started up looking at an account that had 18,000 followers, like, oh my God. But there are so many big clothing brands out there that have, 700,000 followers on Instagram or millions of followers on Instagram. And so 18,000 followers really isn't like crazy. I mean, it's really good for only being alive for 2 years as a business, but it's nothing crazy. And what I found is that a lot of these businesses that have, say, 200,000 followers on Instagram, there's these big clothing brands that have 200,000 followers on Instagram, they're reaching out to me saying, listen, we're not making any sales. We have 200,000 followers on Instagram, but we're not really making any sales. We've just basically gained all these followers because we really optimized our hashtags, and people were finding us in the Explore page on Instagram, and they thought we were cool, so they followed us. But they're really not building that deep connection that they need for people to actually, become a part of their tribe and really, dig in and become part of the brand and want to buy immediately. And what we've managed to do with K-Bud Apparel is, with only 18,000 followers, we're doing over 10K a month in sales. So we don't have as massive an audience right now, but our audience is so ridiculously targeted. And we've spent so much time focusing on giving our brand to a specific type of person who really, really resonates with us. And even though we don't have, say 100,000 or 200,000 followers right now, those 18,000 followers are enough for us to be thriving, because almost all the people inside of our audience really, really loves what we're doing and wants to be a part of our community and buy from us. Ask yourself right now, would you rather be running a clothing brand that has 200,000 followers on Instagram, but you're making basically no sales every month, but you have 200,000 followers on Instagram? Or would you rather have 20,000 followers on Instagram and be doing over 10K a month in sales, where you're actually selling and you're actually a thriving business? I think the answer is obvious. You'd rather be a company that's actually making sales and building a really, really strong community and a really, really strong foundation, okay? So how do you go about doing that? Well, what we do is we basically think about exactly who we want to target, okay? We get really, really laser focused and specific with who we are reaching. Then when we go on Instagram to actually market our clothing, we're looking specifically to find only those people and to engage with only those people, okay? So our Instagram account isn't this general idea where we're just like a cool brand with a very general movement, and we may get onto the Explore page every once in a while and people follow us. What we're doing instead is we're finding really, really targeted people that we know our brand meshes exactly with their personality, okay? It blends so deeply with who they are, and we're reaching out with those people and we're engaging with those people only, okay? And what that does is it builds a really, 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 really strong foundation for your clothing brand from the very beginning, that allows you to make a lot of sales and grow, because all of the people who are part of your tribe want to be a part of it. They're buying all of your clothing, they're talking about it with their friends, and it's growing from a really, really strong foundation, as opposed to having, hundreds of thousands of followers that aren't buying anything, and you're just sitting around going, why isn't anybody buying this, even though people tend to like what I have. So basically what's happening here is you have these smaller brands who are just starting out, and they're creating these really, really general brand concepts, and they're trying to compete in a saturated market with all these other massive brands that are basically doing the same thing, trying to hit the generic audience because there's more people in it. But as long as you're competing with these massive players, it's really, really hard to gain any sort of market share because they've pretty much dominated. They have so much brand loyalty. They have so much social proof, so much more everything. So what we like to do is we like to create no competition, okay? K-Bit Apparel basically has no competition. Our audience is super niche, laser focused, and specific to the point where when we connect with a customer and we really relate with them and they get to know us and they get to see what we're all about, there's literally no other option for them in terms of clothing that they can relate with on as deep a level as what we're able to provide them with, okay? Because we go that layer deep. We're not focused on the width, we're focused on the depth, okay, of the brand. And that is really how you can start out as a really, really strong brand without a massive audience, because all you really need to do is just connect ridiculously deeply with your target audience. And you're not even going to be competing with these general brands that are absolutely massive out there. And there's basically no competition. So you're basically just going to carve out your own market and target your own niche and be unique and be yourself. And people will see that, people will resonate with it, and they'll want to jump on your tribe even more so than some of these big generic brands. I mean, how many fans of Nike are absolutely like diehard Nike? They just live for Nike. People wear Nike because it's nice clothing. You know, it's really nice. You might buy a pair of shorts, but you're not like, oh my God, this brand is amazing, commenting on everything on social media. Basically, when you're able to create that tribe, it does something deeper. It creates a stronger feeling of community, and people really become a part of it, and it spreads so much more beautifully, as lame as that sounds, because people are really, really into your stuff, and they just want to come back again and again and tell all their friends who are a part of that same market, okay? So that's what I highly suggest you do. I highly suggest you figure out that very, very niche thing, and I'm sure your clothing brand has it, okay? I'm sure there's something about your brand that you can pinpoint that really connects with a real human emotion, that drives home that sense of, wow, this person really understands me. This is the brand for me. And when you get that, okay, it takes time. Take your time with it. But when you get that, you won't need a massive audience. You'll just need to basically engage with those people on Instagram because you'll know exactly who they are. And you just need to find them on Instagram and engage with them over and over again. And that's basically how you're going to build your tribe and be able to sell, you know, say $10,000 worth every month with only, say, 18,000 followers on Instagram. If you want me to have a deep look at your clothing brand and look at your social media accounts and look at your website and look at your brand concept and review it for you and get back to you with a report on exactly my feedback and what I would change, and just to give you some guidance, I've just created a new service for you that's at my website, www.apparelsuccess.com, brand new website, where you can sign up, and it only costs $80. And I will look through all of your stuff and give you a report and basically feedback on what I think you should do as a clothing brand and how you can tweak your brand to actually get to the next level, okay? So if you're interested in that, go to apparelsuccess.com, go to the mentorship services, and sign up for a clothing brand review, and I will do that for you. I'm really actually excited to dig in and see what you've been doing. Otherwise, if you made it to this point in the video, I want to tell you about the closed Facebook group that we have going on for Apparel Success. There's a link in the description below. Follow that link. Join us in the Facebook group. We're a bunch of clothing brand owners all in there to support each other and answer each other's questions. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.